3, 2, 1. And welcome to another episode on Marvel Mad. I am your host, Duane the Captain Coffer, and today we'll have a bit of a change this time. We've got Rocket Raccoon Elanor on our side. And we've also got the reigning, defending, undisputed champion of the world, Jason Redblood.
I thought you forgot my name for a minute.
Hey?
Your face made me look like you'd forgot my name for a minute.
No.
Debating whether to say Jack or not.
No, I won't forget my champion at that. And today we'll have got to start of not a new series, but we're gonna have mix it in with the mini Marvel Mad show, and call it the Marvel Mad One Shot. And we're just really getting, because obviously Jason and Elanor wasn't ready and able to do the review last time and that sort of thing. Well,
I was ready, but I wasn't able.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody was ready, but passed out on us sort of thing. But yeah, we're just getting... Yeah, you fell asleep, didn't you? So we're just getting their reviews, basically, on what they thought about Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania. So I'll go on, and as you've been hyping it up, what do you think of it?
Amazing!
Yeah?
Yeah.
What would you like about it? What was so good about it?
The last bit.
The last bit. What about the rest of it? I thought you liked the goo bit as well. Drink his goo. Drink their goo. Drink their goo.
And where it says, I got a hole!
Oh yeah, you got holes as well, yeah.
That's mini me.
Yeah, that is mini you, yeah, that's about right. What about the characters? Who do you like most out of the characters?
The goo.
Oh, you like the goo. Didn't like Ant-Man or the Wasp or Hank anybody. You just like the goo.
Goo.
Yeah.
What about the houses that come to life?
Well, yeah, what about
They
the
were
houses
pretty
that come
cool.
alive? That one as well. No,
Goo.
it's just the goo. Okay, okay. I'll get.
It says I got hole.
You just say got hole.
Mini me.
It is a mini you, yes, I'll give you that. Go on, Jason. What do you think about the film?
Well, as most of them probably already seen in the short that I've noticed you've now put out on YouTube as well. It was better than Black Panther. Like, I don't know if I did with Black Panther what I didn't want to do with Spider-Man No Way Home.
Okay.
Like, obviously, there was a lot with Spider-Man Home, all the leaks and stuff, and I was just refusing to believe any of it because I didn't want it to ruin the film for me. But went into Black Panther not knowing what we're going into, but from the trailers, it seemed like a lot was happening. It was all this whole mystery of who it's supposed to be, and then we kind of got there, and it was like, okay, we know it's you, but then we don't even get to see who it was till like halfway through the film anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas Ant-Man, it pretty much jumped straight into it, but not as quick as Doctor Strange did.
Yeah.
Like, Doctor Strange was kind of like you just in it. You literally started in that with like the battle going off. Like, you know, it was jumped straight in, and all of a sudden you're already in like five different.
Yeah, so it was at the wedding, weren't it? Yeah, the big thing come out. Yeah, American Chavez, and she's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It
was just all over the place. Whereas with Ant-Man, I feel like we had a good bit of an intro. You know, we got to see Cassie a bit more in it. Obviously, only really seen her in Endgame when he come back out. And I mean, I felt like it jumped into her having like a suit herself a bit quick.
Yeah.
But I like that it's setting up like the whole Young Avengers thing and like all these new characters coming in, because it was kind of like this whole thing in theory did happen because of her.
Yeah.
Like, you know, she was sending the messages. Even MODOK said it, like, you know, it literally said to her, like, thanks for sending the signals. We'd never been able to get out of here, or something along them lines.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it had a good pace the whole way through. Nothing was too extreme or too boring. It was like a nice flow, and the storytelling was quite good. Like, it almost had you feeling sorry for Kang at the start.
Yeah.
Kind of made you think, is he one of the bad Kangs? But obviously, knowing what the future of Marvel is, we already knew really that he was a bad guy. But they still did a good job of like getting you to have that bit of sympathy for him.
Yeah. He reminded me. This sort of film with Kang reminded me of like all the bits in it. Is that bit with where he comes at the end, that lot of I think it was the end of the first Avengers, and he gets the glove, or I'll do it myself sort of thing. That was the sort of
yeah. After
impact.
Loki failed, and Thanos is kind of like, I'll sort it myself.
Yeah, exactly, sort of thing. That's what it felt like, sort of thing. And with him, you could see where he was coming from, but again, he was like Thanos. He was just going around about it in the wrong way, sort of thing. If you get me, sort of thing. That's how it come across to me. When you look at it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a slightly different story to Thanos. Thanos is kind of like, well, my planet's starving or whatever, so I'm going to kill everyone to make that better. Whereas Kang's kind of like, my home was destroyed and I'm a traveler. I'm trying to find a new place to go and whatever. But it's like, yeah, but your home was destroyed by another version of you. Therefore, you destroyed your own home.
Yeah.
And it's like they're all tied up into each other, that no one's really good or bad because they're all blaming each other, but all of them are the same person.
Yeah,
so
and there was all
they're just blaming themselves.
sort of
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, there's probably worse Kangs out there. Like, there's still all these other universes to explore. So, you know, he might not be the worst one. He might, like, that whole thing that happened in Ant-Man and the Wasp, when we get Avengers Kang Dynasty, it might not even be the same universe. Someone could have, like, just shot something down there and just exploded the whole, like, little world he's in. Like,
they managed to escape somewhere like Loki season 2. They might have managed to escape, or some of them might manage to escape, and they send something back to try and get the rest of them or something like that. We just don't know. But this film made me feel like, Marvel's back on track now. Sort of.
Yeah.
They've got back on course, and I can't wait for the rest of this phase now, that sort of thing, because it really amped it up for me in that line. I think it's going to be brilliant in that sort of thing.
Well,
it is, isn't it?
I think if we look at everything in the last phase and a bit after Endgame, apart from No Way Home, I feel like all of them have been a bit sloppy. Yeah. Like, they've spread themselves thin.
What do you think? Is that just the films, you think, or the series as well?
The films and the series. Like, there was some, don't get me wrong, there was some phenomenal series. Like Moon Knight is probably... Moon Knight and Loki are one of my top, series that have come out so far. But they were probably, doing bits of them while the hype for Endgame was going on, so they had the time. But as soon as they'd done them and Falcon and the Winter Soldier and stuff, it was all of a sudden like, right, let's get this series out, and this series, and this series, oh, and this film, and this film, oh, and this series as well. Like, all the, developers and designers and everyone just spread thin, so everything became sloppy. Even, the cast, the acting just didn't feel as convincing.
Yeah.
But in Ant-Man, it kind of redeemed all of that, because it was like, okay, they do have the capability to do it, they're just not.
Yeah.
Which means that in the future, when we do get the next Avengers level film, it will hopefully be on a scale of Endgame and Infinity War.
Yeah. Well,
and it's not going to let us down on it.
No, yeah. So I went on about that with I think it was the third Marvel Power Hour when I was speaking to Adam and Ben. It just seems like after Endgame, they just oversaturated everything, sort of thing. They're trying to make. Even though I loved Werewolf by Night and the Guardians of the Galaxy specials, they're making our specials, they're making the series. You had the shorts, or the one shot, like you say, of Groot and everything, sort of thing.
They went quite heavy on the Groot one shots.
Yeah.
Every other character had one. Groot has 4, 5, something like that. But it's in the effort, all the effort they've put into making them, they could have hung back a bit on the one shots and put a bit of extra effort into the series or the films, just to give it that boost, that bit of extra energy and oomph to kind of bring it to life a bit more. I mean, if you showed that film to someone back in the 90s, 80s, they'd be like, that's crazy. They'd believe it straight away. They'd probably think it's real.
Yeah.
But obviously today's standards and the way technologies go in and stuff like that, it's so easy to just watch a film and be like, yeah, it's fake. But watching say, for example, Endgame, it was so intense. Everything had you gripped and tense and like sucked into the TV watching it, like the final battle and everything. And I felt like I got that same kind of satisfaction from Ant-Man.
Massively.
Compared to like watching like Doctor Strange and stuff like that, it just wasn't there.
No.
I'd like to say the same for Spider-Man No Way Home, but I think the only reason that was so good for everyone was because it was just a big giant nostalgia trip down memory lane for everyone. If it weren't for that, people might not have enjoyed it as much.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I mean, well, without all that nostalgia, the film wouldn't have happened really. No. Like it heavily relied on it.
I see. With that as well, you had that was not the start of it, but that was one of the hints towards having like different characters as well merged into other worlds, like the multiverse sort of thing. Like you had 3 Spider-Man, you had all the Sinister Six basically. You had obviously Venom coming in at the end, that lot, because he got these little bit they took off of the bar and that lot sort of thing. So it was the start of everything just intertwining and
mixing together.
Yeah, mixing together and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I feel like that's why we're seeing it with, like I said, Doctor Strange, WandaVision, Loki, and then Spider-Man kind of all tied it together. And I feel like that might be what ruined Doctor Strange as well for me, because I thought, so many of these things are going on. I really hope Doctor Strange addresses it. And I kind of treated Doctor Strange like it was an Avengers level film.
Well, it should have been, really, in my opinion.
It down for me.
Yeah, it should have been, especially you see like this the Illuminati in that law.
Yeah, and then they just get wiped off the face of the earth instantly.
Yeah, exactly that sort of thing. But anyway, I say when you look at some of the strong characters in this film as well, and that sort of thing. Like when you first see MODOK, like trying to capture the Langs, is basically I've put it.
Yeah. Well, Cassie.
Cassie and Scott and that sort of thing. Because MODOK didn't get the others, did he? MODOK went just for Cassie and.
Because they went to
Bill Murray.
Yes, I can't remember his name, but yeah.
When MODOK come to get them and that lot, like I said it on the review, but how they just done him was just bloody perfect. And I'd say you was right on that lot sort of thing with it being Yellow Jacket and just been shrunk down that lot sort of thing.
Yeah, because it was like a week before the film released, and then I just come up to you like, yo, I think I know who MODOK is.
I didn't even realise it was the same actor, and then after we discussed that sort of thing,
I didn't even look at the actors. That's not even how I figured it out. I just I think I was just probably scrolling on YouTube or something, and then obviously because of cookies and search history and whatever, it's suggesting me like Marvel related content anyway. Obviously, is going on about going to see Ant-Man, and just a clip of the final like battle scene of Ant-Man came up, and I was watching it, and when you see it and he's like shrinking down, it is kind of like his body comes in first before his head and his suit. Just watching it, even though he just goes into like a little bright light and down to the floor, you like if you do watch it, you can see they already had the intention of him being MODOK already there.
Exactly that, which I didn't even twig sort of thing. I didn't
like at the time, no.
Not at the time. I said when we discussed it, and then I did some research and found out it was him coming back. I was like, wait on a minute, is he playing 2 different sorts, or is it actually him sort of thing? And obviously then we watched the film and it was actually him. I'm like, that's so damn clever, that is sort of thing. It's so good.
Angry.
Yes, he was always angry, weren't he?
That's what thingied it with MODOK a little bit for me. Like I get they did MODOK how they were supposed to be, but it's like when he wasn't MODOK, he was just a complete arsehole.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden his personality's completely changed, yet he's working for a tyrant, and it's like you'd thought he'd have still had that thirst for power a bit more there, but he just seemed to
accept his sort of he sort of accepted it sort of thing with how
he accepted it and then was high on the life that he was living. And it's like
I think that's probably because
the change was a bit.
Yeah,
I mean, I think if any of us shrunk down to the quantum realm and turned and our bodies deformed into MODOKs, I'm sure we'd all mentally be proper messed up anyway.
Oh yeah, pretty much that.
But there's such a big time period and what happened in between, and I know it briefly touches up on Kang finding MODOK, but obviously between the first and third film, a lot has changed.
Yeah, of course.
Like a lot, and it's like all of this has been happening, but like I don't know, there's a lot in there that they could have probably explained a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like especially with MODOK. I mean, obviously, like as we've seen towards the end of the film, he kind of just gets wiped off. He's
I was
just gone.
gutted about that sort of thing. I said, again, the spoilers. You real know by now when we're talking about this.
Yeah.
But how he got killed off now or something, I really was hoping he'd not like
Well,
change because
it was funny the way he died.
Oh yeah,
like he just
not being a dick and that lot.
into the dome and exploded.
Yeah,
that was it. But you'd have thought that he is like I can't quite remember what the abbreviation is, but it was like machine of
mechanical organism
designed
only for killing or something like that.
Only yeah. Designed something like that.
Yeah.
But like we've seen all his capabilities, and then he just dies to putting his face in Kang's shield.
Yeah.
Like I'd have thought we'd have had a bit more. Like maybe he did decide to change. He because even when who was it that spoke to him? Was it Cassie that spoke to him before he died?
Tell him not to be a dick and that lot sort of thing.
Yeah. He kind of took it in a little bit, and then just I suppose he just took it a bit too deep and was like, "I'm an asshole. Let's just kill myself."
Yeah. Sort of
Instead of being like, "I'm going to change and help you fight back and get you out of here," it's just, "No, you're right. I'm an asshole.
Let's just go for it." Something, yeah.
Like, Like I feel like we could have got a bit more out of that.
Yeah. Have you ever watched? Like I mentioned to the others on the review, but did you ever watch the animated series on Disney Plus? Or just MODOK? Yeah, there's a MODOK series on Disney Plus.
No, I wasn't even aware.
Yeah, there's an animated series of MODOK on Disney. It's done similar to like Robot Chicken.
Robot Chicken?
Yeah. You can't watch Robot Chicken. You're way too young for Robot Chicken. But yeah, they've done it in like a Robot Chicken, the sort of comedy style as well, sort of thing. And I absolutely loved that series. I thought it was funny as fuck. And it just, you see the comics. In the comics, he has got that stupid sort of side of him as well. But he is mentally just, I want to kill things, and I'm just like, ooh, sort of thing. So how they did it and portrayed him, I thought it was bleeding brilliant. Sort of thing. It just did it so well. But I'm just really gutted about that death. I really was gutted.
Yeah, well, I mean, we might get to see another death of MODOK again.
Yeah.
All these universes can't be only one MODOK.
Exactly. Also, I said I was going to come on to that. I was like, with how they portrayed Kang, and just now, I don't know whether he's. I can't weigh it up yet, but I don't know whether he's on the same sort of threat level as Thanos, or if he's way more. Sort of thing, because...
Well, it would be way more.
But he got his arse kicked by...
Yeah, but that was that Kang.
Oh, yeah, that is that Kang, yeah.
That was just that Kang. Yeah. As we see in the end credits, there was a lot more Kangs. A lot more ones. All different ones as well. Yeah. But like, obviously, Thanos only wanted to wipe out half of life in that dimension and timeline.
Yeah.
Whereas Kang... just wants to get rid of all of them. Yeah, like every time, like it's not pure one sort of thing. Yeah, and it's not even like half of it. It's the complete timeline, just gone.
I liked that as well when he was going on about the incursions and stuff like that, sort of that he'd caused to all the different timelines. So that links back. Well, that links back up to obviously the Loki one.
Yeah,
Doctor Strange with that. Well, that already had that incursion when he was fighting with musical notes and that sort of thing. So it's
I mean. I'm curious to see at the time that Loki was done, when they're literally looking at the screen and they're all splitting off and everything. I'm curious to see that, like, when, like, say, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, and all of this takes place at that one point in time, because obviously,
that's a point.
They are in a point of time that doesn't exist in time. They are like in a place that just like is outside of any rules of space and time.
Yeah.
So for them to be watching that, they could have stood there for 5 minutes and watched all these timelines separate. But obviously for us, it's happened over the course of films. It could have happened over the course of like 100 years. But because of where Loki was, it happened in, say, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I wonder if the screen that he was looking at Like, I wonder if that's one thing, like one event, like they thought that caused all of it, or if all of that was happening in like to them in minutes, but to us in like years, and it's just each one was like each film, like Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, and stuff like that. Each one that were coming off was like each one of the films that have caused it to spiral out, kind of thing.
Could have been.
Obviously, Loki blaming himself, being like, well, Loki and Sylvie being like, oh, what have we done? Watching all of it come to chaos, but it's like they only killed one Kang.
Well, they're
There's a lot more Kangs.
Oh yeah, we said we said like, the girl Loki and the boy Loki, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you had Crocodile Loki and all the other Lokis now. Yeah, but they're two different things.
Yeah.
But
Crocodile.
you think what we're saying now?
But the crocodile Loki is really weird.
Yes, Crocodile Loki was really. That was it. Yeah, so it's like when obviously Sylvie and Loki are thinking, well, is it their fault? That's why that's all changed because they killed that Loki. And then you got Scott at the end of this film thinking, hang on a minute, is it my fault because I've killed that Loki's thinking it because of Kang. Scott's thinking it because he killed that Kang. So it's like, well, which one is it? What actually caused it, sort of thing? 'Cause people were saying, like, you had all them fan theories where in the series with Loki, there's like a point where Kang said, right, we're past the beyond now, sort of thing, and people timed it up to when Scarlet Witch fully become the Scarlet Witch, sort of thing. And they were saying that could have been that point, sort of thing, but it
that's
could have
what I
been
mean, like,
this sort of thing. You don't know.
Well, yeah, he's like, we're past the beyond now. So in that end bit of Loki, when they killed the Timekeeper, when he's on about, like, you know, we've already gone past the beyond, what if that he's literally on about Ant-Man killing
Just
Kang?
killing that other Kang, yeah, and that sets it
it's
all
like,
off, sort of thing. That Kang already knew, sort of thing. That's what he's done.
yeah, because he could like feel it because they're all linked or something.
Yeah.
But like it, like, because obviously they are just in that area of time doesn't exist. So like he's like, I mean, the Timekeeper said all these different things, and each thing he said could have literally been the series and films that we've already seen, and he's referring to them before they had even happened.
Yeah.
But to them, it had already happened because they can already see the end and the beginning
I'm going to say
all at once.
I'll get onto that now. Then, sort of, yeah, in the middle. But I'm going to get into that now. Well, in the post mid credit scene, you see the different versions of Kang. Obviously, you see the Egyptian one, way back to the beginning, the start of it all, and that sort of thing. Then you see the more futuristic one that has been to the end. They could have literally just known this was coming, sort of thing. And like the other main bloke said, like, yeah, I bet you gutted that you didn't get to do it, sort of thing. And then we're running out of time, sort of thing. It was like, oh, what are you running out of time from? When is it? Is it because the timekeepers did that Loki and thingy to that Kang, or is it Scott that did it to this Kang? There's so many unanswered questions that need to be answered.
I wonder if it's, you know, if we look at God of War Ragnarok,
yeah,
I wonder if it's a similar thing to that. So like the Egyptian cat that we're seeing, I wonder if they, or obviously like you said, they've seen the end, so why didn't they know it's coming? What if it's like Ragnarok? They know it's coming. They're trying to prevent it.
Right, I get you mean now. Yeah.
Like everyone knows what's coming, what's going to happen, and they're just trying to prevent it from happening.
Yeah.
But obviously, we're yet to find that out.
Yeah. So I'm well. So with the other obviously post credit scene as well, where you see Morbius and Loki in that 19th century thing looking up at Victor Timely. That just really wants me. I really wished that was the next series. Don't get me wrong. I can't wait for Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion is going to be bleeding brilliant if you do it brilliantly. But now I'm more like, no. Bring his Loki to season 2 next. That's the one we really want now, especially after seeing that post credit scene. I'm like, Jesus wept. But it's built me back up to go, do you know what? I can't wait for this next things now. Like, them post-credit scenes are just like, yes, that was another moment where, right, I'll do it myself, sort of thing. Gives you goosebumps thinking about it, sort of thing. Really is cool.
I mean, they also had me with obviously the whole Kang Dynasty thing, and at first I was thinking the whole empire that the Kang we seen in Ant-Man. I thought that whole Quantum Realm empire would have been the Kang Dynasty, but obviously in the post-credit scene, there's they're all just Kang, all of them, and there is thousands, and then it made me think, well, okay, well, if that wasn't the Kang Dynasty, then surely this is, and if it is, that has got to be something that's way more to be feared than the Kang we see in Ant-Man.
Oh yeah, massively. But that, like the Council of Kangs as well. It's just like each of them are going to have this massive, strong, sort of like their special ability, special thing sort of thing. Don't pick your nose.
They're all going to be slightly different, like their thought. Like there will be some, but some of them will have that difference of you wake up in the morning and be like, I'm going to have a cup of tea today. And you make one, but in another universe you didn't. And I know in another universe you did, and you spilled it on the floor. So it's like, they've all lived the same thing but slightly different, which would fill them with slightly different knowledge and tech and armor and gear and everything like that, which would literally, like, it makes Thanos look so insignificant.
Yeah. But that's pretty much it. Now, I can't wait for everything else now. This has put me right back. Really, really excited, isn't it? But yeah, this has put me back on track now.
Restored my faith.
Yeah, it is massively. I say, hopefully, I think it's April time. I've heard. I don't know if that's for definite or not. April for Secret Invasion. Well, I've heard that. I don't know if it's definite or not. Then obviously you got Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know which I'm more excited for: Secret Invasion or Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's what I mean.
Because
I can't wait.
When obviously there's a theory, ain't there, that in No Way Home, the beginning when Spider-Man's like, well, I was with Nick Fury and me and him far from home, and they're like, well, Nick Fury's been off planet. Obviously, there's that theory, isn't there, that Nick Fury has actually been gone since Captain Marvel, and it's just been Talos the whole time through everything we've seen.
I've heard that.
Which means if Secret Invasion's already starting, does that mean that Coulson is a Skrull? Whole of S.H.I.E.L.D. was Skrulls. But everything that the original Avengers knew were actually Skrulls and not the people they thought they were, which would mean the Secret Invasion would have started back in the 90s that Captain Marvel set in.
Well, this is the thing with comics. They were slowly like getting powerful superheroes and just taking them out sort of thing and replacing them with their own sort of thing. So if they can figure out something like that for this series and just say, S.H.I.E.L.D's been taken over by the Skrulls by donkeys sort of thing. And then obviously Nick Fury coming back and we're like, hang on a minute. I'm hoping they mention a bit more about Sword as well, because that's where he's been obviously off planet at Sword. I can't wait for that sort of thing.
But that's what I mean. Are the Skrulls bad?
Well, in the comics they are. This is the thing. But in the film, they've tried to turn them sort of good and make it the Kree.
Yeah, we've been told that the Kree's bad, but also the fact that Nick Fury has then gone against his will to help them and team up with them and probably allowed this whole Secret Invasion to happen.
To a point, yeah.
Because you think about it, in Captain America and the Winter Soldier, when S.H.I.E.L.D. is taken over by Hydra, and they can't trust anyone. Obviously, what if that happening? That could have literally been Nick Fury sat up in the ship, allowing it to happen to wean out any of the people that were Hydra, and then you're basically left with half of them are Hydra, half of them are Skrull.
Yeah.
And once you get that issue out of the way in Winter Soldier and the Hydra members are gone, you're then left with a solid team of only Skrulls. So there is then no division within that community.
Yeah, there's no divide, and everybody knows what the simple goal is, sort of thing.
So it's like, everything that's been going on, and the Avengers thinking, "Oh yeah, we're doing this, we're doing that," and like thinking it's for the better. Obviously, the Skrulls are way more advanced and have way more knowledge, so they've probably been pulling the strings the whole time, and that's what we'll hopefully get to see.
Could have been. Didn't think of that, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, it's all theories. You never know.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll find out soon, eventually, sort of thing. So, but that's nice. That is. But right, anyway, that is the end of another episode of Marvel Mad. I'd like to thank our guests a lot, Rocket Raccoon and Law, and say thank you.
Thank you.
Good girl. And my champion, Jason Redblood. Thank you very much for coming on. Finally getting your opinions on the film and everything that lot. And yeah, we'll get the championship match out soon. We'll get this month's Power Hour sorted soon as that lot. Talking about all things that lot.
This episode could probably end up being a Power Hour on its own. It got a bit longer than a one shot.
Whenever me and you get chatting about Marvel, that's it. We can run off tomorrow. But no, I'd like to say thank you very much, and we'll see you next time on the next episode of Anything Marvel Mad. I'll say bye-bye. And bye-bye on Champion. I'll see you in a bit, and thank you very much and goodbye.